Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. Today we're flying high above Oakland, California. That's right. And we're taking off from this undisclosed location because I don't want to keep it a secret. But this is where we're going, right there to the old Buttercup. Yes, we've been here before and it has been in the news. The Buttercup restaurant has caught on fire again. That's right, there's been a few fires here, but this one was a big one. You can see that the roof has got some big holes in it now. Before, it did not have those holes, so you can just imagine the heat from that fire. I used the old zoom in technology on one of these shots, but that is it right there. You can see inside and the graffiti on top. So there were people living here, and I guess they set it on fire. It's really hard to say. There's that zoom in shot that I was looking for. Yeah, not a lot to see with that zoom in because I couldn't get low enough. I didn't want to lose a drone. As a matter of fact, there was a person in there collecting copper or something, and that's probably his house, I would imagine. I don't know, but there was a person in there, so I don't know if that person is related to that truck, but you can see by the graffiti on the roof that these people were all over this building. So, but what's going to happen next at the Buttercup? Well, you know and I know that this building cannot stand long. There is no salvaging this building. All the copper is gone, all the electricity is shot, all the plumbing is gone. So this building next will see the bulldozer, I'm sure. I don't see this being ever utilized again, not even for graffiti purposes. I think it's just too dangerous to go in there, so I don't know what's going to happen to the Buttercup restaurant or this neighborhood for that fact. If you look around, a lot of empty businesses that used to thrive around here. One of my viewers was telling me that he used to have band studios right around here, and it was a while back, and he said back then it was unsafe. So you can see that the 880 freeway, they get right next to it and do their graffiti right on the wall. So those people that live right next to the 880 freeway, well, at night they have visitors come and visit them. But look at this good chunk of land right here off the freeway. Why is this empty? Well, crime and more crime. And that's probably the only reason that this Buttercup is out of business. I said before that Buttercup has 4 other locations that are currently open, and I don't know how long that can stay open, but this one was a good one. It was right off of here, the 23rd Avenue in Oakland, and this Buttercup restaurant was great for families because it had cheap food and you got served a lot of food. So a lot of to-go bags, a lot of people getting off of church and going here, and even people going to work. It even had a bar, so if you wanted to get a good Bloody Mary in the morning, well, you could do that there, but not anymore. You can't have anything nice in Oakland. I've said it before, I'll keep saying it. And people say, is there any hope for Oakland? Can Oakland turn things around? Well, if you ask the experts, they're saying there is no hope for Oakland. They just hired a new police chief, and of course the mayor's house was raided by the FBI. So, is there any hope for Oakland? I don't know. And I know a lot of you guys say, well, why are you filming the destruction of Oakland? You don't even live there. Well, I live right close to it, and I feel like I need to film the fall of civilization. There is something that is not right when you have businesses closing left and right and moving, and citizens of California, they're leaving California. There's just this mass exodus of businesses and citizens leaving California. So, what's going to happen when no one else will be able to afford to live here, and no one will be afford to move out of here? I don't know. I just know with all this destruction of Oakland, we need to keep our, I guess, gratitude meter up. That's right. Our gratitude meter needs to be higher than ever because of where we live and what state we live in. I know that we're going to take a little trip over here, and this is right across the freeway from the Buttercup. And right next to these homes and lofts, well, it doesn't take much for you to feel gratitude. That's right. There's people who live right here, right next to the tracks. You can see the train going by there. So there's not a lot of quiet time when you live next to the railroad tracks. And here you go. You can see this community of people, and they are people, live right next to the railroad tracks. Now they've cleaned this place out once, and they've cleaned it out twice, and they've cleaned it out again and again. But for some reason, people keep breaking that gate and just moving back in there. So there is somebody that owns this property and is paying taxes. And believe it or not, they're probably getting a ticket from the city saying that their property is dirty and they need to clean it up. But what do you do in that situation if you're the property owner and you keep getting tickets? I don't know. You think the city would give them a check for letting them use the property. Well, I just want you to see this little camp right across the way from the Buttercup restaurant. So you can see that you can't own a business like that and have this outside your front door. It just, people aren't going to come to your business. So it's been in the news that in Oakland's Jack London Square, probably the only safest part of Oakland, they're going to put a homeless shelter. That's right, they're buying a hotel, motel, and they're going to convert it into a homeless shelter. So is it a big conspiracy? What is going on in Oakland? Why would you put a homeless shelter in Jack London Square, the only safe place in Oakland? Well, people will say, well, there's safe places in Oakland. You're just being dramatic. I don't think so. I think that even up in the hills, you have to be careful. You don't find too many people wearing Rolexes and driving fancy cars anymore. You don't even have the cribs and the lifestyle of rich and famous TV shows because people, they got to hide their wealth because people will follow them home and take their jewelry. And even in the casino, it's been in the news that a couple won $3,000 in the casino, and people were watching them and followed them home and then shot them in the legs and took their money. I don't know. What kind of world? You can't even go enjoy yourself at a casino. I think it's all by design. So I think the best thing to do is to be right with God, because you never know when your time's up. And I say that, and I better listen to it, because the work I do and the city I live in and the company I keep is a dangerous life. So I just know that we got to be grateful, and there are people living in cars and burning up restaurants and stealing copper after it's all burnt up. That's not an easy life, to steal copper. They actually had a homeless guy just die stealing copper in an old copper vault. So it's not easy being sleazy, and it's not hard to be pitch. So you can be rich and it's still a hard life, and you can be poor and it's even harder. Well, I think that's probably enough of me today. There is one last little, I guess, shot that I wanted to get a good shot of these chickens and cows on top of this building, and for some reason there was too many wires to get. So I think I'll end this video with this man's home and this poor Buttercup restaurant. One last look at. Next will be the bulldozer, so hopefully we'll get some good bulldozing footage. I don't know, but there you go. So if you had any memories of the Buttercup restaurant, let me know. There's that old bird. That bird was attacking me the whole video. I had to get away from him or her. You know, those birds do not like drones for some reason. Well, this is the picture of the old chicken and cow on the roof. Believe it or not, there's a chicken and cows on the roof. But there was just too many telephone poles in the way. If you look real close, right next to the freeway, you'll see it. There's chickens and cows, and they're on the roof of this building. Can you see them? I don't know. There's just too many wires. You can't see them. I can see that they're on the roof. There they are. You see them. But see, all those wires right there were keeping me from getting down close to see the chicken and the cows on the roof. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Buttercup burnt up adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody.